What is up, everyone? It is your man on fire mentor, David Mailer, coming to you on today's podcast with the hot topic of the great lie that we have all been sold on. So, without any further ado, let us all together dive, D-I-V-E, into the center of the fire and discuss this hot topic. Well, what is this great lie that we've all been sold on? Because I'm sure we've been sold on lots of them. So this past, 2 weeks ago actually, I had the good fortune of serving our 67th live Man on Fire 4-day immersion. Now, probably in the first few years, they were 3-day immersions. Now they're 4-day immersions. What is that? It's our signature event where we have roughly 22 to 32 men locked in a room for 4 straight days. And the version of you that leaves the room is not the version of you that started in the room. And I think every man ultimately wants the same thing. He wants to feel like he's living a life that's on fire. You have passion, you're in your power, you're living with deep, meaningful purpose and serving your mission in this world. You're lit up as a husband, as a father, as a man, and as a leader. And you're setting yourself up for one day when you do take that last breath, you will feel as though it is one of freedom, it is one of fulfillment, one of triumph, victory, knowing that you gave, you loved, and you served with every ounce of your being, as opposed to that last breath being one of regret, where you know that you left some of it on the table, you didn't leave it all on the field. So we're all after, as men, most likely the same thing, which is to actualize our true potential. And so many of us are brought up into this world where you have these two people called parents, and that is the first culture that you're born into, of they're basically trying to get you to be, no, not yourself. They're trying to get you to be more like them. And if you do what they tell you to do, then your life should turn out to be great. Not really, because if you do what they tell you to do and how you should be, your life will turn out like theirs. And most of you would probably say, most of you, not all of you, would probably say, well, I don't want my parents' life. They're not happy. They're miserable, right? And for those of you that have really, healthy parents with a healthy marriage that are living a life on fire and they're free and they're fulfilled, awesome. God bless, and you are one of the lucky few. But more often than not, at least the men that I've spoken to since 1994, 95, where I started getting into the transformational and healing space, you see that there's a great deal of people that are in pain. There are sadly people that have attempted to take their life. There are plenty of people that we all know that have taken their life. There are people that are living in a depressed state, living in a state of anxiety, and we know that the different hurts and wounds and traumas of one's past sometimes become too much of a burden and weigh too heavily upon us to ever rise and be able to live into and actualize the fullness of our potential. This is where Man on Fire comes in, because we're here to support you with that. We're here to help you have the leverage, have the tools, have the strategies, have a way of actually climbing out of the well, or if you're already out of the well, climbing over the wall, busting through the wall, and really going after the life that was meant for you. And one of our sayings, I read it on the internet one time with Muhammad Ali, was if your dreams don't scare the shit out of you, then they're not big enough, right? So today's topic is, what's this great lie that we've been sold? And the great lie is that, most of us kids were told that if we are a good little boy and we do what mommy and daddy said we should do, and we go to temple or we go to church and we get good grades, and then we get into a good college, and then after college we get into a good graduate school, and then after the graduate school we get a good job and we make the good money, and then you get engaged, and then you maybe you live together first, and then you get engaged, and then you get married, and then you have some kids, and then you're going to love your life and everything's going to be okay, and you're going to be happy and you're going to be fulfilled. And you wake up one day, in your 40s or 50s, maybe some of you 30s or 60s, and you're like, Jesus, I don't know who I am. I don't know who the hell I am. I don't know how I signed on for this life. I don't know why I'm not happy. I did everything I was supposed to do, right? There was a gentleman at our very last 4-day immersion, and he said, I did everything I was supposed to do. I dotted the I's, I crossed the T's, I did what my faith told me to do. I followed all the friggin' rules. Why is it that I'm not happy? Why is it that I'm miserable? Where is this anger coming from? Where is this frustration coming from? Where is this contempt, this resentment all coming from? Why aren't I happy? Why do I snap at my kids? Why do I snap at my wife? Why am I, weighing more than I should be weighing? What is the problem? I did everything I was supposed to do. Where is the promise? Where's the promise of the happiness? Where's the promise of the joy? Why isn't it being fulfilled? Who lied to me? I was told if I went to church, or if I followed my faith, if I followed my religion, if I got the job, if I had the kids, if I made lots of money, if I had the house, I sent the kids to the best school, I was told that I would be happy. Why am I not happy? Somebody lied to me. And that's scary. That's scary for a lot of men. It's scary for a lot of men who have put in a lot of effort to do the right thing, to follow the rules, and to do what you're supposed to do, have high morals, high values, high principles, and just fit in and follow these rules that were laid out for us, Get that good job, make the good money, send the kids to the best school, put your wife in the house that she wants, and you'll be happy, you'll see. And yet you have so many people that are living, now more than ever on all sorts of medications, and, so many men today that have become numb and, have to resort to harsh drugs or go on these journeys to try to wake them up. They're asleep. They've become complacent. They've become, they're in an anesthetized coma where you really would need something major to wake them up, because little by little by little, they've been anesthetized and become, excuse me, they're in a state where they've gone to sleep and they don't know who they are anymore. They don't know what lights them up. They don't know what's going to make them happy, because they have everything. I got the house, I got the kids, I got the money. Where's the joy? I thought that was supposed to remove the pressure. I thought that was supposed to remove the tension. I thought that was supposed to make the pain go away. Why am I not happy? And so this is the great lie that I'm unpacking, is that if you follow all the rules and you do what your parents told you to do, or your church, or your synagogue, or your faith, your religion, your spiritual discipline, if you do what it tells you to do, you're supposed to reap the rewards and have this life that's called joy. And for many of you listening, you might be nodding your head going, yep, I was told that. And you're also at the same time saying, it didn't work. It didn't freaking work. And so then what do you do? What do you do if everything you were told to do was supposed to bring you into this feeling, was supposed to bring you into this space of feeling happy, of feeling joyous, of feeling free, of feeling fulfilled? Where do you go from there? I mean, I'll tell you where most people go. They go into a world of distraction. They go into a world of pain management. They go into a world of trying to run away. They go into a world of pornography, affairs, strip clubs, marijuana, drugs, alcohol, overworking, make more money, overeating. That's where you go. And then what? On and on the cycle goes. And then now you're going against all of your values and principles. Now you feel horrible. Now you feel like a fraud. Now you feel like a fake. Now you feel like a phony. Now you don't even necessarily like the person that you're looking at in the mirror. This is scary for a guy. Right? And please understand, guys, I'm not talking to any one specific man out there. I'm speaking in generalities, having the privilege of working with over 10,000 men. This is a reality that's happening in our world right now. And I'm not even speaking about women in this right now in this moment. I'm speaking specifically to the men. That this is real. It exists. You're not alone. And the good news is, I want you to know that there is a way out. I want you to know that you are truly amazing. You are truly extraordinary. You are truly phenomenal. You are worthy. You are worthy of love. You are enough. And everything else is bullshit. Everything else is a lie. And the problem is we have this thing in between our two ears that we call a mind. And the mind is like, it's like a ship that got taken over by pirates. They like to create a distortion in reality, and they like to feed you thoughts that start to become your reality. And next thing you know, after a certain amount of years, you're believing these thoughts, and you believe that you're not good enough. You believe you're unworthy. You believe that you're not capable of. You believe you're not smart enough. You believe you don't deserve to be loved. You believe you're, this better life is not meant for you, and that you've been summoned to a life of mediocrity or blandness or hell. And this is what the brain, this is what the mind will do to your typical man who hasn't learned how to take back his power from his mind, how to reel in his kite, reel in the fish that got out too far, reel in those thoughts that are toxic, that are taking you into a space of not knowing who you are. In our brotherhood, Man on Fire, and there's plenty of beautiful other organizations out there, we're here to remind you of your greatness. We're here to wake you up again and actually start to find out, well, who are you? Who are you? Who are you underneath all of the conditioning, right? You have guys like Andre Agassi that one day admitted he never even liked tennis. Well, how did he end up playing tennis? How does somebody end up playing the violin or the guitar or the piano? Was it really their choice, or was it something to get mommy or daddy's love? Like I know that my wife played basketball, for example, when she was younger. Why? She wanted to get loved by her father. So like, how many of your choices were really your choices? How many of them were really from the inside of who you are, from the congruence and the alignment of your true nature, as opposed to your nurture, where things were imposed upon you? Like, did you really choose to go to school? No, you had no choice. Did you really choose to follow the religion you follow? No, it was imposed upon you. And the way that your parents taught, and the way that the school system taught you, and the way that your friends were in that town, or the politics, or the president, or the country you were in, the city you're in, the town you were in, the faith you were born into, like, it's all imposed on you. And I'm not making any of that wrong, by the way. Please understand, I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm simply saying, where are you within all that? Because if you're just doing everything you're told to do, if you're just following it all like a good little boy, you're just being nurtured by everyone around you, and when everyone says moo, you're supposed to say moo. One day you're going to wake up, you're going to look in the mirror, you're going to say, I don't know who I am, and I don't know why I'm not happy. And you're going to realize it's because my whole life I've been following the rules. I've been bending myself to fit in. I've given up the uniqueness of who I am. I've given up my own natural rhythms. I'm no longer walking in the sand, making my own footprints. Like, I don't even know who I am. Well, what do I want? What lights me up? And thus begins the spiritual crisis, spiritual dilemma, the spiritual invitation, the spiritual awakening to meet the real you, to recognize that, yes, if you followed all the rules like a good little boy and it didn't work and you didn't find your joy, well, this is a beautiful thing. It could be a scary thing if you feel alone in it and you don't know that other men are thinking this way. I'm here to let you know, yeah, a lot of guys think this way. A lot of guys aren't happy. A lot of guys feel down on themselves. A lot of guys have accomplished a lot, and they should be super proud of all of the achievements and successes and plaques and trophies and awards. But if you still don't feel fulfilled, then what? And this is usually where the deeper spiritual growth comes in. This is usually where a man will begin his journey of finding out, who am I beyond my conditioning? Who am I beyond my social conditioning? Who am I beyond how I've been nurtured? What if I was given up for adoption? What if I grew up with a family in a different town, a different city, a different country, a different faith, a different religion? Who would I be then? Well, none of that's really you. There's somebody in there that's beyond all of that. Who's that person? And that's the journey that a man is afforded the opportunity to embark on, to learn his true nature, to learn who he truly is, to walk and march to the beat of his own drum, to make his own footprints in the sand, to break out of the shell, the box that has, really contained him, like with the statue of David, right? That's, you're inside this marble the whole time, but right now you're just staring at a block of marble. Well, where are you? Well, you just chip away at the marble until David is revealed. He was always in there. So there's a real you inside. There's a real organic, authentic, congruent, aligned version of yourself that's been waiting to be birthed. And for many of us, there has to be immense loss, unfortunately, a lot of breakdown before we can get to the breakthrough. And this is, like I shared, it could be a scary thing for a man, and it could also be very exciting if you realize, oh my God, I didn't realize so many other men feel this way, think this way, have this same weight on their shoulders, the same dilemma that keeps them up at night or wakes them up in the morning with this low grade or heavy grade anxiety and feeling down on oneself. Like, this is where we need to be sometimes in order to want to ask bigger questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? What is my true mission? How do I go find that? And this is usually where a lot of men will find their way to us, where they've achieved great things in life, but there's something lacking, maybe fulfillment in their marriage and their relationships. They might not have really learned to look in the mirror and have the guy that's looking back at them absolutely be in love with yourself. How many men can truly look in the mirror and say, I love you, and feel authentic with that? That's a very challenging thing for a man. And so luckily there are some amazing organizations out there, amazing companies, teachings, Man on Fire being one of them, where we're here to really help a man wake up and find the real him that's inside that marble, and start chiseling away, start hacking away, start getting rid of all the stone, all the marble that's not the real you. Get rid of all of the cultural conditioning that no longer serves you, so that the real you can emerge and show himself in this world. This is what it's all about in the Man on Fire world. We do our absolute best to help a man, wake up to himself, to find the real version of who he is inside. And there's nothing more exciting than watching a man, authentically and organically come into a life of passion, a life of power, and a life of deep, meaningful purpose. We are not a company where there's a quick fix, a magical pill, potion, lotion, or genie where we're going to hit you over the head and all of a sudden everything is great in your life. Oh, it's for the man that is very genuine and sincere and hungry enough to want to do the work, that is fully coachable. He's engaged and he wants this. He's hungry for this, and he's ready to be supported. He's ready to be challenged. He's ready to be held accountable to who he truly is. This is the type of man that we work with in our organization. We're here for everyone, right? It's not like we're turning our back on people. I put out all these free podcasts and all sorts of different workshops and thousands of hours on Facebook I've put on to support our fellow brothers. And of course, yes, we have a coaching organization where you can come in at multiple levels in our company based on what your needs are, and we can meet you for where you're at. So I just wanted to dive into this, great lie that we've all been sold on today. I wanted you guys to dive into the center of the fire with me and really take a look at how this might apply to you or somebody that you knows of, hey, I followed all of the rules that I was supposed to. I did everything that I was told I was supposed to do, and I was promised that, I could be happy and that I'd be able to retire by this age, and that meant that I'm going to be happy and my life is going to be fulfilled and I'm going to feel free. And sadly, very few men will report that that's the case. In fact, what most of us will really discover is that it's not until we really shed ourselves of all of who we're not, to allow the emergence of all of who we really are, that we start to find our freedom and fulfillment. It's not until we come authentically back into our power. It's not until we recognize that as men, we're here for the purpose of growing. There's a standard set forth by our soul that goes beyond any achievement or accomplishment that you could possibly have in this lifetime. It's the growth of your soul. It's the evolution of your consciousness. It's up-leveling your tone, your frequency, your vibration. It's your ability to recognize that you're here to grow as a man, and in doing so, you will want to, and you will feel compelled and inspired and empowered and divinely guided to want to take on greater levels of responsibility to humanity. And in doing so, one of those great responsibilities is you will want to really be the guardian, the gatekeeper, and the protector of the feminine heart, restoring the faith of the masculine in the lens and in the eyes of the feminine. We are here to rise in our masculine maturity. We are here to rise into our masculine leadership, live with an awakened and an open heart while we maintain our power. We're intuitively guided. We're connected above. We're connected below. This is what we're here for as men. And it's not an overnight process, guys. Man on Fire truly is not a quick fix. There's no magical sentence that I'm going to give you, no magical solution that's going to make all the pain go away or make a woman come back into your life. This is all about your earnest and heartfelt desire and hunger to want to grow yourself. And if you're a man that's looking for that and you want to explore our organization and see if it might be a great fit for you, awesome. There's lots of ways you can get in touch with us. And if you've already found something that's supporting you in that, awesome. Here's to all of us rising with more passion, with more power, and with more purpose. It is your Man on Fire mentor, David Mailer. I love each and every one of you guys, and I believe in you. God bless, guys.